Hey, what's up everyone? AceOFSpades here with another Overwatch gameplay review. So today we'll be going over Blizzard World using Orisa, since I don't think I've done this map with this meta. So go ahead and get into this one. So on offense, Orisa Sigma is probably definitely still one of the best comps right now. Even after the update that's coming, Orisa's still probably going to be pretty strong. Might not see Sigma as much, but we'll see what happens with that.
What do you want? What other healing?
But it's just super strong right now, just because you can do like the full Doomfist. Seems pretty good against double shield and stuff like that. So how you really want to attack this point is you probably want to be going left side when you're attacking this point, just because if you go right side, it's really easy for Doomfist to get punches since you're right next to the wall. So you want to try and play out in the open space as much as possible against Doomfist, because he's gonna try and hit you into walls when you turn those corners.
Alright, go on the left side, okay? Say go for rock and for pull now.
So we're calling for our team to go on the left side and then do like the pull rocks. So see guys, here we're just trying to play on the left side, break shield, and once it's broken then start trying to push in, but 3 people dead, so just need to reset this and go again on the next fight.
Help you out there. Sorry. Thank you. I'm gonna have call soon.
System restart initialized.
Alright, so on the second attack, I'm going to be looking to probably do the same exact thing. Go to the left side, but as you're walking up, you always want to just be shooting the shield. There's no reason not to. Trying to give yourself a shield advantage. So looks like we went right side since we have TP, so we can teleport top. We don't have to worry about getting punched into a wall that way. So it's pretty good TP, and now that we have high ground, we have an advantage. So we can LOS if our shield breaks and stuff like that. And they can't, they have to stay on the open. So it was a good play by our sim there.
It's just that easy.
Yeah, press my E button. Alright.
So in these comps and stuff like that, usually it's going to be the Orisa staying on point, just because she can be pushing point and still have she can still have like use from a distance just by her own shield, using pull, stuff in that nature. And you always want to have your Moira and your Lucio like playing with your DPS and stuff, just so they can like speed them around, and like Sigma's good enough to just keep on redeploying and deploying shield for when they want to get aggressive. So in like the other comps, it was like always like the Zen or something on payload stay in the back, but on this one usually it's Orisa that pushes the payload while everyone else pushes up. So we saw Doomfist use his ultimate there, so we wanted to use bongos, but since he had just ulted, as we call it there, you don't want to use your bongos just because Doomfist is going to land on top of it and just kill it instantly, and then it's a waste of bongos. So especially when you're looking to use your bongos, you want to make sure that if they have like Doomfist ult, if they have Cole, stuff like that, because if you're going to use bongos, they're going to just instantly Cole kill it or Doomfist ult on top of it, and that's worth it to them. So always want to pay attention to what ultimates they have up and if they can counter your bongos or not, so you know where to place it.
I'm gonna put it like back left behind the part.
Do you have rock?
So I'm just gonna be playing point. Since we use square, we're just gonna be playing behind the square, even though card needs to push up a little bit just to make sure we can win the fight, and then we'll start pushing up here after we have an advantage.
Shield in 4. Shield in 2. 1, you shield up me. Break the shield, kill the sig.
So you always want to be calming your shield cooldown as well, just so your team knows like when they can expect the shield, so they don't have to like disengage, or if they can try and like crouch and just stay like next to you. So we're looking at just pressure on like the Ana and the DPS here, because otherwise it's gonna have like free healing and we'll never get anything done.
Yeah, they're doing behind.
I think Creed's behind.
Yeah, Creed's half. Hold them both. Easy, dude.
You wanna go get pulls?
I'm with you, Sig.
Okay. They're all, dude, there's any staggers?
No, there's a Sigma. Now we can't get him.
Oh yeah, Paris is. Dude, did you hear the good news? Dude, Paris is no longer in the queue right now. Fucking great.
Yes, sir. Temporarily. Okay, why?
So we see Sigma out in the open here. We're gonna look for a pull.
I'm gonna get bongos on corner. Lucio 1.
So you put bongos on the corner there just because it makes it so it's out of LOS, so they can't kill the bongos unless they push past the cart. And if they push past the cart, then they're out in the open to where they can get like booped off the map, or they don't really have a shield or anything. So just a good bongo placement.
Good window early.
Always want to try and put it behind cover so it can stay alive for free.
Okay. Well, we got
McCree's not with us either.
yeah, I'm with you.
They're trying to go to your right side. I'm pulling all middle. I'm stopping good punch.
So same thing here. They use square, so we just went for the pull, trying to pull them into LOS of the square, and then we're just going back and forth in between that, trying to get as much
Big shield, big shield. I shield them too. Shield them
use
too.
out of it as possible.
Shield up. Nice, being killed. They're Sig. Sig is low. Sig is low. Watch your doom. Watch your doom. Watch your doom. Nice. I'm pulling top middle. They're crease flanking. They're flanking on left. Crease flanking on left.
So we always want to be giving out those like location calls of, you know, like the doom saying crease left, just because those are the people that are going to be getting like the picks in these comps. So everybody can see like the Orisa and stuff pretty easily, but a flanking Kree and Doom can change a fight if they can get a pick, since they have that like Doom has a one-shot potential and then Kree has like, you know, the flash, right click and stuff, so it's pretty much almost like a one-shot potential as well. So as you're doing those fights, you always want to be info calling as much as possible on any of those like abilities used, or just where they're going in general. So on this defense here, it's kind of like the same thing. Orisa Sigma is probably still like the strongest you can possibly do. You can do like Sig Zarya as long as you're doing like a hard engage comp with like Reaper Doom, but even like Sig and Orisa with Reaper and Doom is way stronger than Sig Zarya. So this is just the best two tanks that you can possibly pick. But for the offense or defense for the DPS, then that's where it can change up a little bit. You can do like the Kree Doom, you can do Bastion Doom, you can do Reaper, stuff like that. There's like more things you can even do. Doom Pharah or Bastion Pharah. So there's multiple things for the DPS to play, but for tanks, it's pretty standard just to go these comps, these heroes, just because they give so much utility and survivability in this current meta. And that's because of Orisa's shift. She has her halt to displace or pull people out of position. And then Bongos is a really good ult refresher, ult comboer with most of the DPS ults.
Yeah, I think so.
So you're going to want to go ahead and set up on this right side as we're here, just because it gives the best LOS as they're trying to push through chokes. And once again, you're not going to be getting like punched into a wall or something if you're playing this side. It's a lot harder to than if you're playing the left, then it's just easy. So we're just calling to go for like the pull rock, just to maybe force out some cooldowns there.
Love you guys.
So since our shield broke, like we kind of like play like the left side a little bit more, just so we can use that like natural map cover till our shield is back up. So you see now that we have like our shield up, we can play on like the right side like a little bit more.
Yo, killer rate, thank you so much for the 3 months. I really appreciate it, man.
And then after the fight server, each runner just reset to put in this right side, and then You just want to be common, like what ultimates they used and how you want to go into the next fight.
Free or Hanzo just kind of keep going for it?
Can we have you?
So we're down 1 here. Probably might have not have been like the
Hanzo's, he's in on left.
best of
Hanzo.
bongos. We didn't really commit to try and use a ultimate with it, so we could have definitely used our bongos a little bit better there. We kind of just used it to try and like even the fight, and we didn't really have a plan for it, so definitely could have had a better use of bongos if we try to combo it with another ability on our team.
We made it out alive.
So we're gonna go ahead and just get high ground here, just to pressure them off, and then since we're down 1 as well, we don't want to try and like hard engage, but holding this space here is still alright. But they're dragging us off, so we just go off, and now we come back to the top again, and then we'll probably look to drop down on them. So there we go. Now we're pushing down, and the reason why you just want to use push down is because you can still use like this right side as like an LOS. So you always want to try and like take fights on corners with like map cover. And that's the only reason why is when your shield goes down as Orisa, then you can still be contesting space and not taking a lot of damage. So even here is a pretty good spot.
Okay, let's get back.
But since the card is pushed all the way, we're kind of back to this right side corner.
So Hanzo's going right side. Hanzo's going right side. He's getting high ground.
And since we were down 1.
Hanzo top on this.
Alright, they have square. Just cut it out.
So they use square. So we just used our gold as we're trying to back out. Just because since square does a lot of damage, like a couple headshots and you'll die. So you just kind of have to use, even if you might not take the damage, it's just to preemptively do it. In case they do shoot you, which they should probably be looking at you to do it.
Giving us bongos on left.
So the fight's even right now.
Behind, no flash.
Just use bongos to try and help put the fight in our favor, since it was going to be hard for them to kill bongos unless they like pushed out to like the far left side. So we end up getting like almost full bongo value out of that. So now we're just holding this side just because they can go into the left where that mega is. So by playing here, we pretty much can contest. We can see if they're trying to go high ground. We can see if they're trying to go left, and it just makes it so it's harder for them to get the flank without us noticing. So we're calling Hanzo's for our team top right, just so nobody gets a headshot here.
I think I want to kind of play my shield here just so we can get a shot.
So just like we said there, we're putting our shield this way just because when Hanzo tries to go top right, it does give us some shield cover here, and it still covers from like the left and middle. So here we want to go for a high noon, so we went for a pull there to try and combo a pull with it, which is something you always want to be looking for.
If you left, he's one.
Oh god, we have no shield right now. Careful, careful.
They're pushing card.
So because Crew's left, we probably didn't need to put our shield there.
I'm pulling their Hanzo back.
Wasn't sure if he was going to die instantly or not, but could definitely save our shield. Looking back at it.
We're on the flank, boys. Pulling their back. Just a half, just a half. Careful, careful, careful. Come back, come back.
So we're just calling for our teammates to like regroup, to fall back to where our shield was.
I got their baffle, one-on-one. Nice.
So whenever Bap has that field out, you always want to look to kill that first before you shoot him. Just because even if you take him down to 20 HP, you're never going to be able to kill him without the field being dead. So every time the field's out, you always want to look to focus that first and then look to get the kills afterwards.
Stopping Doom punch.
So we saw Doom, went for the punch, we press shift.
I'm gonna get bongos when I have next shield.
it's always something you want to do. It's like one of the like tricks to trying to counter Doomfist is because Doomfist is always gonna look for a punch in there. If you can trade your shift for a punch, it's actually huge because then it makes it so their Doom doesn't get any value out of his punch. In case like if he misses you and you punch one of your teammates and one hits them into a wall and something, that's where they get the massive value. So being able to just walk in front, press shift, stop his punch, and then after that you can even get a pull on him and potentially kill him before he gets away. So always want to be looking to do that against those Doomfists, which you're probably gonna have one almost in every single game. So always practice that.
I'll take it.
But anyways, hope this video was helpful for you guys, and yeah, till next video. Peace out, guys.